Welcome to NFL Week 9 of the Sports Phenom Show, the best damn sports betting show on the planet, where you get all of my capping insight and picks on every game in under 30 minutes. No boring gibberish, only the main points that need to be said, and no commercials, just the way we like it. I am the owner of sportsbettingphenoms.com, better known as the Phenom, World Series of Handicapping champion. I run the only site on the planet where all of our cappers had to go through a rigorous qualifying process, all of which did so with at least a 60% record and unprecedented units of profits. Max lines of only minus 150, different tier levels based on each capper's performance, where all results are fully documented from day one, and all of our packages are 100% guaranteed to profit. No one else offers what we do, folks, and at more than fair pricing and unprecedented results you simply can't find anywhere else. Speaking of unprecedented results, I did it again in Week 8, going 8-4 overall, topped off by my 3-2 Money 5 performance. Winners on the LA Rams, who won outright against the Vikings. That was back on Thursday night. I also nailed the Cleveland Browns for you. How impressive was that pick? A more than touchdown dog who not only covers, but destroys the Baltimore Ravens outright. I told you, Deshaun Watson has to go. And now they're singing Kumbaya in the locker room with a renewed sense of fate to their season. So, two big dog winners there in the Rams and Browns. Third winner on the San Francisco 49ers. This one also a never-in-doubt selection. I told you, even with all the Niner injuries, they would still beat these shit Cowboys off a bye. Didn't matter. So congrats to you all there. By the way, I think Coach McCarthy is going to be done like dinner after this season. And I also think they're going to have to get a new defensive coordinator, as there needs to be serious changes at the end of this year for the Cowboys. How about Belichick and Salah as a defensive coordinator? That might right the ship, or at very least get it back to a reasonable state once again. The two losses, by the way, came on Cincinnati, who I just can't seem to figure out. This team's really disappointing me at this point. They're traditional slow starters, there's no doubt about that, but usually in a game like last week in that spot is where they tend to right ship. It was a perfect game and perfect spot to pull off a big win against a decent team who was playing on their second straight away game, by the way, with Cincy at home for their second straight game, but it seems to be different this year. Burrow and Chase aren't clicking on all cylinders. And like they have in the past, I really don't know what's going on there, and there just seems to be something off, doesn't there? Not sure if it's internal or not, but if they don't right this ship soon, the season's definitely going to be over before it even started. That was only my maybe one incorrect handicap. The other loss was on Miami, which we definitely should have won, as the Dolphins blew a fourth quarter 27-18 lead. Are you serious? You get Tua back, you're up 27-18 in the fourth quarter, and you found a way to lose on a last-second field goal, 28-27? Oh, that one pissed me off. That would have been the difference between a 4-1 and 3-2 Money 5 weekend. Definitely deserve some better fate there. But all good. Hey, who's complaining? Well, all these other wannabe cappers and self-proclaimed pros on YouTube who continue to get their ass kicked week after week. I continue to roll. I continue to get the job done. And I continue to prove why I am the obvious go-to source on the internet. Who else can you trust to win week in and week out? Like I always say, give me just 1% of your trust and I will earn the other 99%. Overall now, on all the plays I've released here on these videos since week 1, an absolute spectacular 91-50. As I give myself a little pat on the shoulder here. 91-50, folks. That's 65% winners over 141 selections. They say the best the biz hit 65%. Well, on top of that, 65% over 141 selections is extra impressive. There was no one else in the industry that can compare or even come close to those types of records and percentages. I'm on a crazy 44-21 run. Roll over my last 65 selections. Bottom line is I continue to get the job done with spectacular records. What I'm doing here is unprecedented. What I am doing here is unlike anything else that's ever been done in the industry. I am putting together a dream team of cappers on sportsbettingphenoms.com. This assembling of this dream team will take over the industry. Again, sportsbettingphenoms.com. A new site, by the way, should be launched very soon. It will be the best site on the market. Pick your capper, combine them, take advantage, see winning like you've never seen before. All the rest in this biz are fake it until you make it. Absolute garbage. I am the real deal. We are the real deal. And I look forward to putting this all together. Slowly but surely. So as mentioned, 44-21 over the last 65 selections. That's an incredible 68%. People just say that these types of records and percentages are impossible. Impossible. Yet I make it look easy. And all for free to top it all off. Just for following, liking, subscribing. I haven't even asked you that in 9 weeks. How about it today? Give us a like. Subscribe. Make a comment. I'd appreciate it. I don't think I'm asking for much. Also, before I get to this week's picks, I want to give another shout out to those of you currently competing in my latest 100 play handicapping challenge that I run on my Twitter profile at sports_phenoms. Honorable mention once again to our top challenger who's been there since day one. At Donalds27399. Again, at Donalds27399. I call him Dom the Dominator. Who continues to impress. One of the best challengers I've had. I am looking forward to seeing how this individual will finish this challenge, currently sitting with a very impressive 37-20 mark. That's 65% winners over 57 selections. I even did that challenge when I first started Twitter. It's only fair. I hit 65% out of 100 plays, and he's right there along with me. Been in the business 4 decades. It's time people knew about Dom the Dominator. You can follow him and the rest of our challengers and all of their plays absolutely free. Get on my Twitter profile at @SportsPhenoms, _Phenoms. So at @sports_Phenoms. We are the only one that do things the right way in this business. Okay, and now to what you've all been waiting for, my Week 9 selections. And we start things off on Thursday night with Houston, the Texans against the New York Jets. And I've been the absolute king of Thursday night, haven't I? All my selections are winning on Thursday night. A few of them have been money 5, and so will this one. Here's the thing on this game. If the Jets haven't blown their season to smithereens already, then one more loss surely will. I think we all know that. A lot of people have already said they're done. And I get it. It's so hard to take them when you consider they just can't seem to put it all together. Even with Davante Adams. They also have the worst damn field goal kicker in the league right now. Greg fucking Zuerlein. Greg, what's the deal, buddy? Not sure what's happened to you, but you've missed 6 damn field goals this year. In 2 of them, or in 2 of those games, you're the reason why the Jets lost. So they should be and could be and very well would be 4-4 if it wasn't for you. So there's no doubt about it. They're in a tough position here now, sitting at 2-6. But here's the thing. This game now is back in New York. And it's also against the Texans teams that's already without Nico Collins. And now word is they're all without Stefon Diggs, who looks like he's out for the season with a torn ACL. So this is going to be severely dampening what was already an explosive offense that looked like could have competed for a Super Bowl. Well, you can imagine the frowning and down faces in that locker room knowing right now it was bad enough to lose Nico, but now you're going to lose Stefon Diggs too? So there's no doubt about it. The Jets caught a break here. And they have to prepare on this short week without 2 of those top receivers. So definitely not a good spot for the Texans here. This gives the Jets some hope, a sliver of a chance. Especially when you consider they're only 2 games out of a wild card spot, which is held by the Denver Broncos. You think Bo Nix is going to get him there? He's off to a great start. But hey, it's a long season. So I believe this is their last chance. Their last shot. It's an absolute must-win. They have to pull this one out. And all they have to do is win. And I believe they will win. Greg, hit the fucking field goals. And the Jets will win. Jets, Jets. My first of 5 money 5 selections for week 9. Next game, New England and Tennessee. Okay, so we've reached the first barf game of the week. Not going to waste too much of my time on this one. As you know, I've retired from capping Tennessee games. Best thing to do is just go against them every game. Like I said, I hope they get their absolute ass kicked every week. They cost me earlier in the season twice. You know what I say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, well, shame on fucking me then. But not going to let it happen again. And I love it. They've been getting pummeled by both Buffalo and Detroit in the last 2 weeks. Good for them. That's what you deserve. My God, you couldn't right the ship after the bye week, and you lost that one play I had you on right after the bye week. You blew that. You just blew everything. You blew your whole season to smithereens. You're absolutely done. But at the same time, something also tells me this might be the spot for them, with the public all over New England after beating the Jets last week. But I'm sticking to my guns here. I am passing on that one. Next game, LA Chargers and the Cleveland Browns. Okay, this is a tough one. The LA Chargers looking to be righting the ship after winning the last 2 of 3 games. At the same time, those wins were against the Broncos and the Saints, which has got them sitting at 4-3. And their only other 2 wins were against the Raiders and Panthers. So who have they beat? Not that impressive at all, right? I mean, it's not their fault their schedule is weak, but at the same time, they haven't beat anybody good. So Cleveland, now sitting at 2-6, has a new sense of resurgence with Jameis Winston behind the helm. So it definitely makes for an interesting match here. I'm going to slightly lean with Cleveland. I think that Jameis Winston resurgence is bigger to me than who the Chargers have played thus far. I mean, again, 4 shit teams they've beat. Okay, well, you're supposed to. But you haven't beat anybody with a plus 500 record, and now you have a Cleveland team that maybe would have been plus 500 with Jameis Winston under the helm since the beginning of the season. It's also one of those early games, cross-country trips for the Chargers, which usually doesn't fare well for the visitors. Usually favors the hosts. So give me the Cleveland Browns here, and let's buy it up to 3.5. Next game, Washington and Arizona. Well, how about the Commanders coming off that huge Hail Mary win last week? Wasn't that something? And I'm sure this will become a rivalry in the future between these 2 rookie stud quarterbacks. What a first game this was for those 2. And how much of an idiot was that loser defender, forget his name, from the Bears, who was taunting the fans as he ran down the field before the play was snapped. As he was taunting, the play already went off. And as karma would have it, and before he even realized it, he was running back to defend, and ended up being the one that deflected the ball into the end zone to the only player that was sitting there and waiting to catch it from the Commanders. Isn't that something? And for those of you that don't think karma is real, well, there's a prime example that it is. It's just simply amazing. What a way to finish that game, and what a first game between those 2 stud quarterbacks. I can only imagine how many more like that there will be in the future. But how pissed, think about how pissed people who back the Bears are in this game. I mean, that's the soap opera, the adrenaline rush, the ups and downs of being an NFL sports bettor. Crazy. Anyways, as for a pick in this one, I'll take the Commanders. They're riding high. There's no reason to go against them. So they continue to play top-notch football, game in and game out. Not a big play, just a small lean. Nothing to like about the Giants at this point. I mean, I can't really see any pros, only cons when it comes to the Giants at this point. So Commanders is the play. Let's not forget the Giants suck at home. Pretty much suck everywhere this year, once again. My only suggestion would be to buy it down to -2.5 and make it a small lean on the Commanders. Next game, Denver and Baltimore. And this is my second of 5 Money 5 selections. This game, right when I saw it, was screaming, get right game. Rebound spot for the Baltimore Ravens, who got embarrassed. I think it's fair to say embarrassed against Cleveland. At that time, the one-win Cleveland Browns in Cleveland last week. I mean, okay, they were a bit unlucky to catch the Browns' first start with Jameis Winston. And let's face it, they didn't play their best game of the year, that's for sure. And probably didn't come in with their full heads where they need to be in motivation levels where they need to be for a one-win team. But I'll tell you something, they will be ready for this one. Coach Harbaugh's going to make sure of that. And we've got Denver on the other hand, that's been a huge surprise. We can't deny that. Bo Nix, along with Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams from the from the Bears. Jaden Williams from the Commanders. These new crop of quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks, that's taking the league by storm, to be honest with you. I mean, look at the records of these three teams with these rookie quarterbacks right now. It's fantastic. It's going to make for some great football in upcoming years. Some great rivalries. And I'm looking forward to that. But let's not forget, you can't get too excited about the kid just yet. They're 5-3. But it's early. And now they're going to get the pissed off Baltimore Ravens. I mean, who has Denver faced that's even close to the level of the Baltimore Ravens? They've beat, a one-win Carolina Panther team. They beat a two-win New Orleans team, two-win Vegas team, and the two-win Jets. So I don't expect this huge jump in competition to be something they are ready for. I think it'll bring them back down to earth. And again, especially with the Ravens coming off that loss. So take the Ravens here. Buy it down from 8 down to 7, just in case there's any backdoor action on us. And we'll cover ourselves right on that nice line. -7. I believe they get it done by double digits. Take the Baltimore Ravens. Officially lay the 7 as my second of 5 Money 5 selections. Next game, Vegas and Cincinnati. Now pay close attention to what I'm going to tell you here. This is going to be half of my third of 5 Money 5 selections, but it's going to be part of a teaser. So last week I lost with the Bengals. And that was my only disappointing cap, if I can be fair to say. I said earlier, I really don't have any clue what's going on with this team right now. I pretty much have a good feel for every team in the league, usually at this point of the season. But this is the one team that's throwing me off a little, and I still can't figure it out. I will, though. In the next week or two, we will know what's going on with the Cincinnati Bengals. What we do know is their defense has been less than stellar. Well, maybe we can just say it sucked. But there's no excuse for this underachieving, porous offense. I mean, look who they've got. Getting back to the D, though, for a second. They've given up, 37 points at home last week. Let's not forget the 41 they gave up to Baltimore a few weeks back. And oh yeah, they gave up 38 at home to the Commanders before that. That's a shocking 116 points in their last 3 home games. I mean, that puts them right there with the Dallas Cowboys as probably the worst defense in the league. Seriously. How can good teams like this not have better defensive coordinators? It kills me. Now, of course, Some will argue and say that those were good teams that were playing, but still, 3 home games in a row to let in that kind of points, there's no excuse. I'm sorry, there isn't. That's nearly an average of 40 points they're allowing a game. But then, again, it's an underachieving and porous offense at this point. Their offense should be better. So as much as the defense is a major issue, the offense is right there along with it. And this is a recipe for disaster. There's no doubt about it. You don't have the D, the offense isn't clicking. Now you have the Raiders coming in. And this is a team that's already thrown in the white towel weeks back, especially after they got rid of Davante Adams. I mean, when's the last time this team has won a big game? At this point, they're playing for pride, but I don't even know if they have any of that left at this point. I mean, especially in consideration of how the season's gone. Would you have any pride at this point? I mean, you really just want the season to end, don't you? So there's only one way to look here, and that's the Bengals. But the problem is we can't fully trust them on this line. It's over 7.5. What is it? 7.5 points? Over a touchdown? So I'm going to use them in a safer 7-point teaser, and it's going to come up and connect with another game upcoming, which I'll get to. So stay tuned for that. Next game, New Orleans and Carolina. Well, we've now reached the second barf game of the week. Will anyone even be watching this game? Does anyone even care? Is Carr starting? I don't know. Do I care? No. Will it matter? Maybe. This is just one of these games that's an absolute waste of time for the league. Let's be honest here. And I'm surely not going to sit here and try to cap it with the unknown with Carr. I'm sorry, I just don't care. It'd be better if this game wasn't even played. I might even forget it did after the weekend until I look at the box score. Nothing on this one, folks. Sorry, pass. Next game, Dallas and Atlanta. And this is going to be my 4th of 5 Money 5 selections. And my pick on this one might surprise you a bit, as I do love the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, I've been saying all season long how Dallas sucks. And rightfully so. And we've been cashing, going against them a lot. But the thing about the NFL, it's all about spots. It doesn't matter if it's a good team, an average team, a shit team. You get them in the right spot. That's what matters. This is a soap opera of the league. I've been telling you that also. It's all scripted that way. And let's face it, what fun would the NFL be without the soap opera appeal? That's the ups and downs of every single week. And that's why we love it so much. And I'm here to tell you how that soap opera is going to play out. Atlanta coming off a fairly easy win against Tampa Bay Bucks, who were without Evans and Godwin. But really, was it that impressive? No, I gave you Atlanta. We cashed. But it wasn't overly impressive. They should have won that game much easier. And it just shows you then. They're 5-3, sitting comfortable now, but are they really a great 5-3 team? I'm not sure. I don't think so. But I can tell you something. They're definitely feeling comfortable coming off that win. Nobody expected them to be 5-3. I didn't. I thought maybe 4-4 at best. So they're going to be coming home off that win. They're going to be sitting comfortably. They're going to be feeling good about themselves. While Dallas' season It's pretty much on the line here, isn't it? They don't want to fall to 3-5. Sitting at 3-4 heading into this one. And I told you back in week, I think 1 or 2, that you can expect me to get most of these Dallas games correct, as I've been a Cowboys fan since I was a teenager. I know this team inside and out. I know when they're going to lose. I know when they're going to win. It's just a team that I know inside and out. We all have that team, right? Everyone and their grandmother here is going to be on the Falcons. I like that too. I went against Dallas last week. Now again, was another Money 5 selection I gave you on San Francisco. We cashed there. And a lot of these games this year on Dallas, I will have in my Money 5. Again, just because I know them so well. This week, I'm on them. And I love the fact that we're getting points. You got a comfortable Atlanta team. You got a desperate Dallas Cowboy team. When you're comfortable, you're not as motivated. You have a little bit of a letdown. When you're desperate, you come out with the best game that you can have. And I expect that to be the difference in this game. The points is a bonus. We're getting that 3.5. Buy it up to 4. And that'll be my 4th of 5 Money 5 selections. Next game, Miami and Buffalo. Okay, so this one's a tough one. Bills always seem to dominate the Dolphins, especially at home. I don't even think Tua's ever won there. But they do have them back. And their season is most definitely on the line after blowing last week's game. I still can't believe they screwed us there on one of my Money 5 selections. 27-18 in the fourth quarter. I can't get over it. And they blew it. And really, that could end up costing them down at the end of the season. Could very well be the difference between getting in the playoffs and not making the playoffs. So now we have this game where if that game wasn't the difference, then this one definitely is. They have to win, do something they've never done in Buffalo. And let's not forget, it's tough to beat a team twice in one season. Even though Buffalo's done that before against Miami and seems to own them here at home, still a lot of points. Buffalo's sitting pretty in the top of the division right now. They're not going to be as motivated. I mean, it is their rival. So surely they'll come out and play their best game. But Miami really has to put it all on the line in this one. There's absolutely no doubt about it. So with that in mind and us getting so many points, have to slightly lean on the Dolphins here. Take it up to 8 for extra coverage. And really nothing more to add on that one. Next game, Jacksonville and Philadelphia. Well, this Jags team is in a world of hurt, to say the least. Trevor Lawrence's career is, can I say it, nearly done? I mean, what has he done? Where is it going? How many games has he won? What, 2 of his last 12? Or 14? I don't know. It's so pathetic and so bad that I can't even believe he's still a starter for a professional football team. And on the other hand, we have the Eagles, who I have to say, I'm actually a little bit surprised about. They are on fire. And definitely righting a ship that I didn't think they might be able to right. I mean, I heard about those internal issues this team was having. And most specifically, the Sirianni and Jalen Hurts relationship. And that's where usually most teams seem to crumble in these types of situations. Yet this team has been able to kind of use it to their advantage somehow and right the ship, turn their season around, and all of a sudden, they're starting to look like a competitive team that might give some other teams problems in the playoffs. Maybe even the Eagles of 2 or 3 years back. So I have to go with the Eagles here in that case. How can you not? I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the Eagles fare when the schedule starts getting a little harder next week. They've got a couple interdivision rival games with the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Commanders back-to-back. And they also have the Ravens come up in a few weeks. I think that's where we're going to see what this Eagles team is really all about. But for now, we'll take them on a slight lean here. Take it from 7.5 down to 6.5. And only a slight lean just because they do have that game coming up against Dallas, and then the 1 week after that, Washington, both interdivision rivals. So they might be looking ahead. That's my only concern here, but still a slight lean. It is Jacksonville. No reason they still couldn't win by a touchdown or more. Next game, Chicago and Arizona. Well, I'm not sure how the Chicago Bears will respond in this one, coming off that Hail Mary debacle from last week. I expect them to be pissed and angry. How could they not be? I mean, one of their own defenders, Karma, bit them in the ass. As I mentioned earlier, when he was taunting the fans, and then ended up being the guy that deflected the ball into the Washington player waiting in the end zone. So with that said, I just don't know what to expect from the Bears in this one. It's hard. Sometimes they can use it to their advantage. Other times, it could really kind of crumble what chemistry they have for a game or two, or possibly even a season. I've seen it before. So I'm not going to go with a side on this one, but I do like the over. You're in a great stadium. We don't have to worry about the climate. Should be some points. So the over, the only lean I have on that game. Next game, Detroit at Green Bay. So Detroit is going to be my play here. They were very close to being a money 5 selection. I would suggest taking the line now, buy it down from 3 to 2.5. You've got the unknown status of Love. So if you can get that and get it down to 2.5, especially with Malik Willis possibly starting, then it's an absolute gift, and it's money 5 caliber at that point, worthy of a big play. So I would gauge it all based on who's going to start for Green Bay. If it's Love, small lean on Detroit at that 2.5. And if Willis starts and you got that 2.5, and you've got yourself a big one, gauge it and take it based on who is going to start for Green Bay. Next game, LA Rams and Seattle. Well, this is another one I find a little tough. LA Rams are starting to get healthy and slowly but surely righting the ship at 3-4. But the problem here is this is the spot to take the Seattle Seahawks. They're coming off that Bills loss and have lost 3 straight now at home. So it'd be very surprising to think they could possibly lose a 4th straight. So I'm left conflicted here a little bit with all that in mind. I hate to say it, but your guess is as good as mine in this one. I'm going to have to pass. I like to give you out a selection on as many games as I can. Only 2 or 3 I pass on. This will be one of them here this week. If anything, maybe a slight lean towards the over. Next game. And here we are now with our 5th and final money 5 selection. Indianapolis and Minnesota. So what a perfect spot for the Vikings this is. They're coming off back-to-back losses after that 5-0 start. They just lost to the Rams, which I gave you on the money 5 last Thursday. And also the Lions the week prior that broke their perfect start. And now they have this nationally televised Sunday night spot to rebound and remind everyone who and what they still are. A Super Bowl contender. I expect an absolute huge performance, and I could care less if Grandpa Flacco starts. There's nothing he's going to be able to do in this one to keep up. I see the Vikings winning easily, winning big, and this is my favorite pick of the Money 5. I'm 7-1 on my favorite picks of the Money 5s this season. Expected to get to 8-1. Buy it down to -4 and enjoy my 4th of 5 Money 5 selections. Next game, and this is the final selection and game for week number 9. It's the Monday night affair, Tampa Bay and Kansas City. And you might be wondering what that other game is that we're going to end up teasing with the Cincinnati Bengals for our final Money 5 selection. And this is going to be that game. Now, there's nothing I hate more than placing a bet on these Kansas City Chiefs. As you all know, I hate everything about the Chiefs. I hate everything they have going for them, including the refs in their back pocket, the Kelsey and Taylor Swift thing that they absolutely love, the league does, to take advantage of for viewership. And how lucky are these motherfuckers, again, like they are every week it seems, now to get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers without Evans and Godwin. Are you freaking kidding me? It just never seems to end. Every break in the book. The Kansas City Chiefs, trying to think of a better name for them, they get every break. Everything seems to be in their favor. They were born with a horseshoe. Anyways, I vented about them how many weeks in a row. Not going to get more into it than I already have in the past. We all know how I feel about them. But it's also my job, and I'm in the business of making money, to tell you when to take them. And we're going to take them here in that teaser with Cincinnati. It's all about making money, folks. That's all that matters. So, again, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put Kansas City on that 7.2 team teaser with the Cincinnati Bengals. So, officially, it's going to be Cincinnati -0.5 and Kansas City -1.5. And that'll finish off my Week 9 Money 5 selections. Okay, so now to the recap here for week number 9. Here once again are my Money 5 selections, the best selections you will get in the business, the best on the planet, the best on YouTube, the best on the globe. Nobody does it like I do it. I am the only go-to source worth your time, your hard-earned money. Let's get it done once again here this week. First selection I gave you was the New York Jets on Thursday night. I'm the king of Thursday night games. Haven't missed one, not going to miss this one. New York Jets on the money line. Next one, Baltimore. Don't forget to buy it down to 7. Baltimore laying 7. Third selection, Dallas. Also going to buy this one up to 3.5. Dallas plus 3.5. Fourth one, Minnesota. Buy it down to laying 4. Minnesota Vikings laying 4. And finally, the fifth and final Money 5 selection will be the 7.2 team teaser on Cincinnati laying 0.5 and Kansas City -1.5. So that'll do it for another week here in week 9. I am the Phenom, wishing you an all amazing week. Let's get this money. See ya.